Hey guys, it's Judith here and you're welcome back to my channel. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how we went from this to this, and we're just going to jump right in. First of all, I started by cleansing her face. I carved her brows. I have a different video for that of how I trim her brows. This is how she came. So I cleansed her face with the micellar water. I put a little bit of the micellar water in a cotton pad and I use it to clean the face. Cleaning the face is really important. It's one step you should never skip because there's always dirt on her face. So this is what the amount of dirt she has on her face. And I went ahead with the hydrating serum. This is from the Zaron Cosmetic. I applied that with a brush. I'm using the hydrating serum because we're not going for a matte look. We're going for like a slight dewy finish, not like a grizzly dewy finish. So I just applied that with a brush and blended that in properly. Went ahead with my Mismetic moisturizer. This moisturizer has a little bit of oil in it, so I applied that with a brush and went ahead with my palm to blend that into the skin. You should try blending your moisturizers with your hand. If you still use only brush, thank me later. This is the Pond's oil control primer because irrespective of the look I'm trying to create, I still want my brows matte. Then I went ahead with this hydrating primer. She has like a normal skin, so I don't want to go in with a mattifying primer, and that's not the look I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve like a look still looking alive, like a dewy finish but not grizzly. So I blend that with the brush. I started from the T-zone. I took the excesses around her face and I dab. I did not drag. And my Nuban Beauty on the Glow highlighter, this illuminator, oh my god, you should not skip it when you're trying to achieve a dewy finish. This is perfect. Yes, I said that. And this, you should apply that on the high point of the face where the light hits. So when the light hits the face, it just comes alive. Then I went ahead with this foundation, this Nuban Beauty foundation, and this Melanin foundation is a perfect combo. Like the undertone from the Melanin foundation, the skin-like finish the Nuban Beauty foundation gives, and its undertone as well, very perfect. And I applied that with a brush first, then went into it with my beauty blender. You can see the little quantity I have on her skin. You don't have to pack so much product on the skin, and she already has a flawless skin, like yes, so you don't have to pack products on the skin. Even when you're working on a skin that has like dark spots, redness, and the rest of them, just use a corrector. That way you don't have to pack products on the skin. So I make sure that foundation is well blended to perfection. Then to blush her face, I use this cream lip stick from the iMagic lip palette. This is one of my favorite palette. I use it all the time because I just love the way this cream lipstick blends into the skin like a blush. It's just really perfect for me, and I use it all the time. And for her undertone, I feel like this just blends in to the skin, and for the look I'm trying to create, this just perfect for me. So I just take the excesses on her forehead because I just want like a little bit of color, very tiny. Then to highlight and contour her skin, using this Nuban Beauty concealer to do that. One of my favorite concealers. This is one of the favorite concealers I own. This just does it perfectly well for me. I use a dark shade to contour and I use the light shade to highlight. So while contouring, I just apply little on the skin and blend that in with my beauty blender because I don't want so much product on the face. I don't like having the skin looking too cakey and too heavy, so I just want it to give me that skin-like finish. So I just blend that into the skin and take the excesses to her forehead area because I don't want so much product on that area as well. I use my powder to warm up that area because I just want it looking like bronzed. Then I went ahead to highlight under her eyes. I used the Nuban Beauty concealer. As you can see, I used two different concealer. I just used the other concealer. This is like 3 shades lighter under her eyes, and to highlight her face, sorry, then I use like a lighter shade of concealer on top of it because I want that inner corner of her eyes looking lighter, like looking really highlighted. So I just blend that in with my beauty blender. As you can see, I'm just tapping on top of the concealer. I don't have excess product, so I just tap on top of it so it's just be well blended. While working with my Nuban Beauty concealer, I don't let it get tacky like when I leave the Elegeo concealer. I just blend this immediately because it dries out really fast. So because the concealer and the contour, kind of reduce the intensity of the blush, I just went ahead to just add a little blush on it. Now it's time to set under the eyes, and I'm using my Nuban Beauty translucent powder. First of all, I have to blend under the eyes. Went in with the pressed powder to apply on that area first before going into it with the oil control setting powder. I used this bigger blending brush and I went ahead with the smaller blending brush so it can take the product to the inner corner of the eye. It just worked perfectly well for me. I do that on every part of the face where I highlighted. Now I went again, blend under the eyes before placing my setting powder. Before putting anything under the eyes, you need to blend, like blend and blend to avoid creasing. Before putting your pressed powder under the eyes, you need to blend. Before putting your setting powder, after using your pressed powder, you still need to blend. This way you're completely sure you're going to avoid any creasing under the eyes. So I just used the setting powder to set every part of her face where I highlighted, and I just went ahead to do like a reverse contour just to intensify the contour a little bit. Then I went to set all over her face with my pressed powder. From this powder is from the Lily V powder palette. I use this all the time. It just works perfectly well for one of my favorite powders. So I did the brows off camera. I have a detailed brow tutorials. I'm just going to leave the link in the description box so you can catch up. And I just set the brow bone with a powder, and I'm using the Nuban Beauty powder to contour her nose, and just to give her face a lift, I'm just contouring the outer corner of her eyes, just darkening it a bit just to give her face like a lift, because she has like this cat eye illusion and smoky will be very nice. So when you just do that, it gives the face a lift. Then I went ahead on her eyelid with my Tara eyeshadow primer. I just make sure that it's well blended before I take into my eyeshadow. And to start off with my eyeshadow, I use this orange shade from my eyeshadow palette to do the transition. Started from the outer corner of the eyes and took it into the crease. You can use any eyeshadow of your choice. Any eyeshadow can work, depends on the look you're trying to create. But this eyeshadow I'm using is from my Inglot eyeshadow palette. So I went in with a dark brown on the outer corner of the eyes just to darken that part a little bit, and I took it into the crease so I won't have any demarcation, using a different brush to just darken that part more, like a smaller brush. I want it really dark, so I went in with a smaller brush just to darken it. Take it into the crease because I don't want any demarcation. Then on the lid, I went ahead with this gold shade, same from the Inglot palette. I'm using a synthetic brush to apply this. When I'm applying a shimmery eyeshadow, I like using a synthetic brush because I feel like it gives me, not like I feel like, that is what it does. It gives me like a very good blend. So I just went ahead, blend the brow bone with powder. After applying the shimmery eyeshadow, of course, I blended that in and went ahead to blend the brow bone with powder to avoid any demarcations. Now to smudge under the eyes, I use a smaller blending brush, smaller than what I use on the crease, to smudge under the eyes because I just wanted to have like this uniform look, like a smoky, soft smoky kind of finish. Then did the same thing on the other parts, on her other eyes, smoke under the eyes and just give it that little soft smoky look. Then I used a pigment. This is the e.l.f. pigment glue, and this pigment, oh my god, I can't remember the name of this pigment. I've had this pigment for the longest time, so I let the glue get tacky before applying that on the lid. Now I'm applying the pigment and it just gives me this little shine. I don't want it too shiny, I just want it to, you know, be there, not so much. So I just use this small blending brush to dust out excesses from her face, like excess pigment. Now to line her eyes, I'm using my Beyond Beauty gel liner. I usually apply that on the back of my palm, let it get tacky just a little before I start applying it on the eyes. So to get a tiny liner, I just like raise her eyes up like you see me doing in the video. I just raise her eyes up a little, so this way to give me a tiny liner. So if I want to intensify it, then fine. Then I went ahead with my mascara. This is my Wing Beauty favorite mascara. Oh my god, the wand of this mascara is amazing. It's perfect for all eyelashes. So I went ahead, apply my false lashes. This lashes is still from the Wing Beauty. I just use my tweezers to apply it, like applying lashes on a client or on a model, it's not really a big deal for me. It becomes like really a big deal when I'm doing it on myself. Then I went ahead to line her waterline with the same Beyond Beauty gel liner. This gel liner, if you want to line on the waterline, please just let it get tacky a little bit. So to blend her under eyes, I use this tiny brush, take a little bit of her powder shade to just blend the under eyes. So to intensify the blush, this is the classic blush palette. I just use very little quantity to intensify the blush and give her face like a little bit of color. Still trying to blend the inner corner of the eyes and just make it uniform with the contour, using my Nuban Beauty powder palette to do that. So I went ahead to intensify the brown eyeshadow under her eyes. I used like a darker shade from this same Inglot palette. I just wanted to be like a little bit darker. It was nice, but it wasn't really giving what I wanted it to give. So now to the lipstick. It's always the brown lipstick and the brown liner and the nude or the pink inside. It's no news that when it comes to lipstick, I just totally black out. Or is it that I just love this particular lip color and I don't just want to go out of my comfort zone to try something else? But this is what it is. The brown liner as usual and the pink inside. But this time around, I try to intensify the pink. I just want it really, really pink. Like, let it be pink out there. And that is what I did. Because usually I just like try to make it just look nude, you know. And this, to set her face, I use a Nuban Beauty setting spray. Unfortunately, I lost the clip where I spray the face. Here, I'm just trying to use my beauty sponge to blend the spray into the skin. And that's, you just saw, is my classic lip gloss. I just use it to gloss the lip. As a lip gloss girl, I never miss the gloss. You can only see matte lip on my page, only on requests. Matte lipstick is not for me. I just asked her to smack and that's it. Then I went ahead to intensify the blush again with my Tehila blush palette. I just used this cream blush because I just wanted looking creamy. Yeah. And to highlight her face, like to add more glue to her face, I use this highlighter from Tehila Cosmetic highlighter palette. I just applied that on her cheekbone and took the excesses to her brows. I didn't take highlighter directly to her brow bone. That will be too much and too intense. It's just the excesses I took there just to give the brow bone like a little more highlight. Use a tiny brush to apply highlighter on the bridge of her nose to intensify the inner corner of her eyes. I like the tear dot looking alive, so I just use this highlighter just to intensify it, and voila, this is the finished look. This on the left is the makeup in sunlight, natural light, and this is the makeup with my lead light. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a very big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're yet to, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.